Who knew hiatus was going to be 6 months?
Has it been that long?
It's been 6 months.
By definition, I think we have exceeded an actual hiatus.
Yes, I think so.
But you know what? We're back, bitches!
We're back!
It actually feels good.
If you've tuned in to see if you can argue with your spouse and still be madly in love, you're in the right spot.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Annie.
And we're the Kilkos. Sound like a game show.
We're your host of Life's Little Arguments. We're not trained experts in love and marriage. Actually, we might be quite dysfunctional, but we have been happily married for 16 years.
Debatable.
Not only will we share all the ups and downs of marriage, but the ins and outs of raising his and her kids, growing through new jobs and opportunities, and our latest obsession, our empty nest babies, our dogs, Blakely and Lincoln.
So if you hear ding, ding, ding across the microphone, they're probably walking across the floor.
Listen in each week while we discuss our life, current events, random TikToks, and the little arguments that undoubtedly come up. Whether you're in a long-term relationship yourself or in a fresh new relationship, we hope you find our podcast fun, entertaining, and helps you realize there is a normal in life's little arguments. So...
I mean, it feels good to be here.
It does. I'm a little out of practice. I'm a little nervous. Yeah. I thought, it's no big deal. I'll go up there and just put everything back together and
Yeah. Well, at least it looks good. I mean, this part, I think, looks good. I hope they can see it on the video. And look at this. Check this out. Press for champagne. I was going to bring a champagne bottle, but I wanted to surprise you, but I was like, I can't bring it in here to surprise you because obviously. It's, you're carrying in champagne. And then I thought, when you open champagne, you need to drink it all at once because it goes bad. And it's like, okay, that'd be a complete waste. But it looks good. The sign looks good. The chairs look good. We finally got some stuff up on the walls. So it's starting to feel like a gosh darn podcast room over here.
Yeah, it's a little crowded. And honestly, I'm just going to make do with these chairs, but I'm not comfy right now.
I mean, you don't need to get too comfy. It's a gosh darn podcast.
I feel like I need to be pretty, they're very comfy on Caller Daddy.
You're good.
I'm just saying.
You're good. Speaking of, I was going to say, when you start making some money at a podcast, you can buy some new chairs. But hey, you can't tell us shit because our podcast has been downloaded how many times?
5,000 times.
I don't know how that's possible.
I don't either.
I think I'm 4,999 of them.
Yeah. Because, that's not true because you don't listen at all.
I just want you to stop them.
How is that even possible? I mean, of course that's possible, obviously.
I don't know. And here's, I apologize for this brown boy that's sitting in my lap right now. He just stepped all over the computer.
He stopped the recording and everything.
He's going to be making noise. Good gosh. You probably can't even see me, bro. The camera needs to be on me. I'm just teasing.
So I feel very out of practice, but I thought we would just maybe talk about where have we been?
Get through this one.
Why did it take us 6 months to get back to this?
Yeah. Why did it? You kept saying to me, I want to do the podcast. I'm like, okay, all right. All you got to do is tell me when.
Yeah.
Because again, let me remind everyone, I am TALE.
Yes. Here we go. Talent. Yeah. So I think so I'm trying to think back. So it was June when we did our last podcast. As a matter of fact, I listened to that last episode tonight.
Oh, so it really has been 6 months.
It really has been 6 months.
There's no way you could have convinced me it's been 6 months. I would have said 2 or 3 months.
So much life in the last 6 months.
Gee, I'm tired. I'm tired just hearing that.
Just thinking about it?
Yes.
So I think when I listened to the last podcast, I think life had just gotten really busy. So I was doing the human design certification to be a human design reader. I was also...
You look pretty right now, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Your tox is on fleek
really?
right now.
Okay, good. I was doing the somatic healing course. And I believe not long after that, I had started doing social media for a business. And so between all of it, plus just being a dog mom and helping the creative realtor do his things, I think it was just too much. And it felt like too much of
pressure.
I felt like I was pulling things. I felt like we had to be really funny, or I felt like we had to be having an argument. And I was like, if we're not having an argument and talking about things, then are people going to be disappointed?
Really,
So I don't know. It just felt like
forced.
It did. It felt
Yeah,
forced. It felt like work. It felt forced. It didn't feel like as much fun anymore at that point. And so I just needed a break from it. I didn't realize the break was going to take 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right though. It was like kind of before we'd be like, what are we going to talk about? We're like, shit, I don't know. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
Yeah.
and I've come to realize too, like that's what a lot of podcasts. I mean, they just talk about whatever.
They really
you know
do.
what I
They
mean?
talk about a lot of current events and just
Yeah.
what's going on in our life. And I think that was the point too, is I thought we had kind of gotten to a point where I didn't feel like we were doing a whole lot, but then damn, I'm like, after we got done with the podcast, I felt like we were doing all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
that we made, like, man, we should have talked about that. And we'll go back and kind of recap like the last 6 months and all the things that we've done, because we had we did have some fun things that we did. But it just was too much. I think I was going through something too besides those two things. So when I started doing obviously the human design, but the somatic healing, I think that started something for me. And that healing work it's not easy. Like, it is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It, I think, brought up some things for me that I think I kind of have, went into a little bit of a depression.
I would agree with that.
I think there were some things I kind of pulled back from in my life that I needed to pull back from, but yet at the same time, it was a little bit depressed from that. And so I think it was all hard. And plus, you're right. I was putting too much pressure on myself that we either had to be funny or we had to be relatable or we had to have an actual argument because we named it Life's Little Arguments. And that was fun to begin with. And it was silly and like, let's tell everybody about the arguments we have. And I think it's good because I think it's helped us a lot. Like, we've grown a ton doing the first 45 episodes.
Well, I think it helps normalize stuff too, because the things that we argue about are the same things that everyone argues about.
Right.
They may not admit it, or they may not talk about it to the point where they are. Sometimes you need an argument to be able to get some stuff out.
Well, we definitely do. And the arguments haven't necessarily, I wouldn't say they've stopped, but I definitely think we've not had as many. I think we've grown to a point that sometimes there are times where, like just the other day, I feel like I caught myself and I was like, okay, wait a second. This is not a you thing. This is a me thing. This is bringing up these feelings in me of not feeling good enough and not being worthy. And that's where this trigger is coming from. And this, I need to say these things to you. I need you to know how I feel, but this has nothing to do with you. Whereas before, I think it would have gone a completely different direction.
Yeah, so when you kind of done your healing or whatever you call it.
And I'm not done healing by any means, but
I'm well aware. I'm well aware.
I am working through things, but I think I took that time to really dive deep into some of these things. And
well, what I was going to say is that it sometimes is a little bit of a catch-22 because it brings up stuff that kind of puts you into, you said maybe a slight depression or whatever, but at the same time, the other end of that typically is, you're more aware, you're more empathetic, you're more sympathetic. I mean, you're able to kind of communicate because I think that you have worked through some stuff internally. Now, obviously, we all at any point still have stuff that we need to work on, but that is, I think, in going through all this, and you look back and say, okay, what did we learn from the first 40 whatever episodes that we did? Is like awareness for me is a big thing. Being able to see, okay, I can tell, she's going through something right now. Like, do I push? Do I not push? If I do push, like, when do I back off? Whereas in before, I don't know that my awareness was necessarily what it needed to be. But I think more importantly is, I think it has really helped you, A, be aware, but then B, be able to acknowledge it. And I think that for years, that was always a big roadblock.
yeah.
You would have these thoughts, but you wouldn't acknowledge it. And I would ask you about it or call you on it, and you would deny. And then it's like, I feel like now you're like, look, I realize this. And I think you even said it. This is on me. It's not
Right.
a you thing. It's a me thing.
Right.
So there's been a lot of value there as well.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of why, we took this break, or I took this break. Obviously, Kent's not doing this podcast without me. He is never going to take initiative and do this kind of thing on his own. It's not his thing.
That was an attack, but okay.
No, that was truth. That wasn't attack. That was what we call truth.
I don't.
No, if somebody set it up and said, "Hey, come sit down and do a podcast," you'd be like, "Okay, yeah, what are we going to talk about?" But you would never go through all of this.
That part I do agree with.
So when I say like we decided, I decided. But I've been missing it. I've been wanting to come back, and so here we are. But I'm going to release the pressure of we have to talk about a certain topic, or that it has to be funny, or that we have to talk about an argument. I don't want to cause an argument just to have something to talk about, on the podcast.
Thank you.
So,
ding, ding, ding.
Right, I'm releasing all of that, and we're just gonna see where this goes, where it takes us, and what happens.
Okay.
So. Anyway.
Pressure's on. But listen, we have 5,000 downloads. I think that's a pretty cool thing.
I hope you guys are watching this on YouTube too, because I want you to see Lincoln and how freaking cute he looks just sitting the way he's sitting right now.
He looks like he is the star of this show.
He is absolutely, obviously, he is the star of the show. And you know what?
As long as somebody's petting him, he is content.
He will be content.
But if I were to stop at any point, the pawing would start. Which apparently is a doodle thing I'm learning. I'm sure there's a lot of dogs that do it, but the Instagrams and all that stuff I follow, I'm a lot of dog videos, and almost every doodle does this.
He can't keep his eyes open. He's
does
falling
he look
asleep.
Like he does in the tub?
Yes.
When we give these dogs a bath, we let them soak in the tub sometimes. We got a little shower thing. It's a little different. But this dude will literally, up under the water, just sit there like this.
If he gets to be in the tub part, he will sit up underneath the running water and just almost fall asleep. He did that the other night. Blakely, on the other hand, she can't stand it. She can't stand the bath.
She's like a cat.
And she also doesn't do the whole pawing thing.
No,
she doesn't.
She doesn't lick. She doesn't paw.
Do any of those things.
She snuggles, but it's next to you. He is on top of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a big difference. So, It is beyond me how they are so much different in so many respects. But I mean, hell, Jackson and Lauren are different, and they are they're stepbrother and sister.
They have zero blood connection.
Well, no, but these don't. But it's like you would think that if you're raised around each other, you'd kind of have some things. But anyhow.
So I did redo this room. I was sick to death of the mint green. That was also an issue.
Has it been that long?
Yes, babe.
Shit.
I'm trying to think what was like on TV at the point in time when I was painting this room, but it has been
the first season of Stranger Things. No, just teasing.
No, it's been a long time, and it's been even longer of painting it, but then putting it all back together, which happened literally 2 nights ago, that we actually hung these particular things up. Yeah. But I love this. I think this is such a cute little vibe, and I'm going to always...
Wait till you see the camera. It really does look
press
good.
for champagne.
It kind of reminds me of, when Andy does his show.
Yes.
He has, I think they do a doorbell.
Is that the, what do they call his,
Not after hours.
No, I mean, but his area is called... Anyway, I can't think of it.
We'll figure it out.
So
shout out, calls. We have 5,000 downloads now.
So I was going to. I thought you were going to laugh actually when I brought up the fact that the last episode had that I was doing my human design certification and the somatic healing, which I did. I made it through the somatic healing workshop, but it was just difficult. It was so much because both of them were having like the human design certification one. I mean, I would have calls in class like 3 days a week, and we were covering so much so quickly. And then the somatic piece was like 2 calls a week, and and they were all kind of, one was like through the afternoon, but then others were like, one was at like 5 o'clock and one was at 7 o'clock, and it was just trying to do dinner and all of these things. So it was very chaotic and hard for me, but I did move through both of them. However, on that last episode, I had said, I'm getting my human design certification so that I can be a human design reader, which I technically am. However, I have only done 2 human design, technically 2 readings.
Technically would be accurate because slip up and say something, and it doesn't matter what damn environment we're in. We could be at a restaurant, we could be at a football party, we could be in a Guy Stern swimming pool. Slip up and say something about, I think this or I thought that. Annie's immediate. What's your date of birth? What's your date of birth and what time were you born?
And so here's the thing.
She will boom, lay it out for you.
Well, here's the thing. I'm good at a very high level, in which, for most people, a high level is all that you need. But for me,
and it's still fascinating to most people.
It is, and it's hard for me to understand and realize that, because there's still so many things that I don't know, that I haven't even had a chance to dive into for myself, that sometimes I feel like a little bit of that imposter syndrome, that I'm not going to be able to fully articulate it or kind of,
and I see that
hit
too.
the vibe with other people, and it's probably not true. And I know that, like, Marissa, I did a little mini reading for her, but I didn't do it like over the phone or like voice or video call. I just wrote everything out for her because she was on the way on a trip, and she seemed to resonate with it, but I didn't, like, she gave me that feedback as in, like, we texted or whatever, but like being able to see her facial expressions or hear her, tone of voice and things like that, I wasn't able to do that. But then I did it for one other person, and she did seem to resonate with all that, which the whole time I'm kind of sitting there going, oh God, I hope this lands. Oh God, I hope this lands. Oh God, I hope this lands. I hope this makes sense. But it is one of those things that you have to kind of just take what makes sense, and if it hits, great. But if that particular piece doesn't, then move on from that. You don't have to take that. It's fine, because it is so nuanced and there's so many deep levels to it that I there's so much more for me to learn and know.
There is, and
I'm still obsessed with it though.
And I love your obsession with it. But I can see when you start talking to people, I can see there's a point where once you kind of get past that high level, your comfort level changes almost instantly.
For sure.
And then it doesn't come off as nearly as confident. But to your point, or what we said is, anytime I've been around and I've heard you explaining it to people, it is spot on. We've talked about, with John and Christy and John and Brandy and a few other, it's like you say it and they're just like, oh my God, it's frightening how accurate it can be just based off of, again, date of birth, time.
Well, it was interesting because Rylan was the first one who we went out to dinner with them, and I could see Rylan. He's a little bit stressed. He's a little bit anxious about being at dinner and like needing to be back, to his dorm and whatnot. And he's having this conversation out loud with himself and sort of reassuring himself. And as he's talking, it is sort of reassuring himself. And so I dug a little bit deeper and I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. When I looked at his authority, and he has I forget which one it is. It's either mental, self-projected mental authority or something along those lines. And it is, in fact, what he has to do, the way he makes decisions, is he needs to speak it out loud and hear himself saying it. And when he does that, that's how he best makes decisions. And so, it was really cool to actually see him do this in person and then put it together with the chart and tied it. I was like, God, like that's it. And then to be able to talk to Christy and John about it, and then be like, Christy was like, I've always said, like, son, do you not have just like a gut feeling? And I told her, I'm like, he doesn't. And she's like, he's told me, no, I don't have that gut feeling. And she's like, I don't understand that, because she does. And when I can explain it to her and show her in the chart, she's like, wow, this is really, really interesting. And so that the way that they know that when he's trying to make decisions, being able to ask him questions and get him to talk it out loud to himself will help him make those particular decisions, which is complete opposite of their other son.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, and them. So it's
I
it's
remember
really
John.
cool.
I remember John even. I think he reflected on it the rest of that trip, and then he's brought it up a couple times since then. And that, and we talked about this. This is stuff that we wish we knew as the kids were growing up, because, John has found himself saying to Rylan, if Rylan's a little indecisive, for example, he'll just say, go do this, do A, whatever, just whatever it is. And it's hard for him to fathom. But I think once you brought that up, John was able to be aware enough to say, okay, I can see where I've had a missed opportunity when Rylan's saying this or asking this, instead of me making that decision for him, like you're saying, asking open-ended questions, he'll eventually get to the decision. He'll eventually know what is the right thing to do. But it's just a pattern of something he has to do. And it's the same thing with Lauren.
Yeah.
It's like, she'll come home and tell us about this and about that. And it's just like, it's sometimes it's easy to get frustrated because you're like, I don't care about what's going on at Sonny's right now because I don't work. You know what I mean?
Right.
But just letting her do that is her way of, communicating, and you've got to be able to allow that kind of thing. So,
He's trying to get down.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, so
Can we talk about these vintage Reeboks?
Yes,
I don't know if you can
let's
see them
please
on the
do.
camera.
When you first got them, I was like, what in the holy dad shoe are we doing right now?
But check them out now. They look good with these pants,
they do.
too. I think that's the
good.
difference. But they're, I'm guessing, circa 1984 style, if I had to guess. I was at DSW with Annie, and I walked by and... I'm one of those people, especially when it comes to shoes, but I'm one of those people that... Like, I don't really shop. It's just, I see them, I like them,
you like it, you buy it.
I don't, second guess, but I do have a gut, whatever you say. I do have a gut, so if I like it, I roll with it. But I saw these, and I was like, I've got to have these.
And you're also one, when it comes to things like that, like, you don't try to talk yourself into things, usually.
Yeah.
It's either, especially with clothes and with shoes. Now, there are other things, obviously, you do try to, like, rationalize. But with that, it is a hard, I love it. It's going home with me, or it's not what I'm looking for. I'm leaving it.
That was a little dig at me, by the way. Y'all don't know. We're in the process of buying a vehicle.
Why are we bringing that up?
Well, because it's our life. But we're in the process of buying a vehicle, and she is going to tell me that I'm trying to rationalize. There's a particular color and a color combo that we're looking for, and I am saying, well, second choice looks pretty damn good too. It's still a nice vehicle. Still has the color combo we want on the inside. Exterior might not be exactly what we want, and she thinks that I'm trying to compromise on it. Little does she know I'm working with someone on the back end trying to get all this stuff together.
I do know this. Yeah. But it just felt very much like, you remember when we were looking for this house, and like you were so tired of me looking at places, and the house 2 houses down that was already built, it was for sale, and you're like, let's just get it. And I'm like, no, that's not exactly what I want. And you're like, it'll be fine. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
I get it. But when it comes, and I have some history with this. I mean, Annie, when we're going on a trip, and I'll give her the credit because she ends up booking everything. I don't do that part of it. But if I were to book a condo or an Airbnb, the very first one that I liked that was a good price, boom, I would book it and problem solved. This girl literally will take 3 weeks, and it is so frustrating to me because the next day I'm like, did you book it? No. Okay, and then we're looking again that night. Did you book it? No. Okay, and it will literally take her days to book it, and it is so frustrating to me. And that's a huge difference between. But that's an example of where I used to would just get really frustrated. Like I'd really get aggravated. Now it's just like, okay, whatever. I know that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, I can't. It's just part of my design. I don't like to just make a very infrequently do I make very quick snap decisions. I like to think about things.
About everything.
Everything. I like to
think about
it.
I can't tell you the last time I feel like you've made a split decision on something. Besides loving me, which is pretty easy.
The only thing I can make a split decision on is when you're like, hey, are we going to get together tonight? And I'm like,
true.
No.
That's true. You're pretty hardcore on that one.
That's about the only thing that I feel like I'm pretty
Yeah, but I have learned the no. I have learned, okay, so you're saying there's a chance? Yeah, I have learned the no, but, I think we've talked about this before. I'm on a testosterone supplement. You give me a shot once a week. And as long as I'm taking that testosterone, I'm going to push through those no's sometimes.
You sure are.
But I didn't have it for 2 or 3 weeks, and it was an obvious difference to me. And I think I will just have to take testosterone the rest of my life, which, I knew that going into it. I knew that if you start taking it, your body stops producing it naturally, and it's the way it is. So I didn't like that 2 or 3 week time period. In fact, I hated it. Now, that being said,
I was okay with
that being said, my fat ass is, I've got to get back in the gym, and I know that that's going to create some natural testosterone. the soreness and all that stuff. I just don't understand why I can't do it. I just cannot figure it out.
Same. I've not been thinking about it that hard, but yes, I also need to do that. And
You keep saying you're going to,
I keep saying
but
it.
I
And
do too.
every
so shit.
Monday, it just doesn't seem to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that maybe
You know what we're going to look like? We're going to look like New Year's resolutions.
I know, and I don't want to do that.
No,
but
we
we're
got to
almost
get in
there at
number
this
4
point.
then. We'll get on the 20,
The
22nd. We're going to go 22nd of December. We're going to go re-up that membership.
Only if the 22nd's on a Monday. I only start the gym
Is
on
it
Monday.
even being paid?
I don't know.
The card that it was on, it was the one that was
This is a conversation that we can have all. This is not a conversation.
You don't think anyone is going through the same thing about the gym? You don't think there's a single?
I don't think they give a fuck
Hold on.
if the gym's paid for or
what
not.
what they are thinking about right now is, shit, I don't even know if my gym membership has been paid. My card could have been compromised, and they switched my debit card out 8 months ago, and I don't even realize the money's not been coming out.
Well, if they've been going to the gym, they know the money's coming out because their key card.
That's
is
not the
working.
point. Out of the 5,000 downloads
like
we've
it
had,
is.
there's somebody out there who is with me on this one. They're like, shit, I don't even know if my card's still being charged.
Okay, so the other thing that
You're
I
going to have a
heard.
message about this, I guarantee you. Go ahead.
Okay, so the other thing that I heard on the last podcast that we did is we were going over our money bowls that we made. Do you remember when we made the money bowls?
June.
Well, yes, obviously June. But do you remember doing it?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened with it? Did you have any kind of immediate success? Did you have any wins from that? How did that work out, do you feel like?
Like financially, I'd have to go back and look at it. I mean, September was my best month.
Okay.
Since I started. But my other months have been good too. But that was the best one. And I think it's fair to say that I always, how long? What's the tell? I mean, real estate's normally 60 to 90 days. From when you kind of start talking to somebody or going to all this stuff has to happen before you get to the closing table. And I think it's fair to say 60 to 90 days is kind of standard. So it could very well, and I believe that it could very well be that, we started that process in June, and then 90 days later, I have my best month in real estate.
I'm just saying, people.
So tomorrow is a full moon.
Tomorrow is the
and
full
we're
moon.
going to do another
it is
money
a powerful full moon. Is the cold moon. It is also Sagittarius season. I am a Sagittarius, so it is very powerful for me. And I'm also going to do something else on 12/12. So the numbers 12/12 would be powerful. Me being a Sagittarius, it's the perfect time for me to be doing things.
I need you to put my money bowl together.
No, you're going to put your money bowl together. So I thought we would maybe we'll do money bowls again tomorrow night.
I think it's a great idea.
I think 6 months basically. Let's do it again.
My money bowl sat on my dresser, which is going in and out of my bedroom, bathroom. So, and I'll have that. I think you call it a worry stone.
It's your green adventuring.
I have moved it. I've moved it. I realized that my obsession with it was like unhealthy. But I guess this is OCD. I don't know, but I have really been from the start that I cannot walk by it and not touch it. If I do, I immediately think, fuck, I messed up. That's bad news, whatever, or something bad's going to happen. And it was to the point where I was internally saying to myself, if I was walking to the bathroom, I'd say, God, don't make eye contact with the stone, because then I felt like I had to grab the stone and rub it. And so I finally realized that's just a bad spot for it. But now that I think about it, maybe I need to move it back. But I say all that because I had that stone in the money ball. At the money bowl, and I remember we melted the candle, and the candle melted on it, and then kind of solidified around it. And I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to rub it. Fortunately, the wax just popped off. And so anyhow, I need to make sure that I incorporate that, and I feel like I need to get it back into the bedroom, and because I think that just there's something about it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's keeping your intention. It's keeping your focus on what you want, and what you want is this, and it's putting that attention out there, and it's raising that vibration. It's putting you on that same type of vibration of the success, the abundance, the prosperity, all those things that you want. So
I wish for one day you could have the same OCD tendencies that I have. Another example, the way that I open my vitamin pack in the morning. There's two of the gold pills, there's a water pill, there's a thermogenic, and then there's two vitamins.
Uh-huh.
In my mind, I have to open it and they have to come out a certain way.
Oh my God.
And if they don't, I will immediately think, shit, what's about to happen? Or if I happen to open the pack and they come out just right, today's going to be a good day. That's the way my mind works.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
And let me just say this before I forget. What's odd about that is I don't feel like I'm one of these, the world is against me, woe is me, oh shit, the world's falling apart. I'm not that person at all. But I do think, shit, something bad's going to happen because of the way these vitamins came out of my pack.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've never shared that with me before.
Yeah, because you make me feel like a weirdo. When I say stuff like that to me, you typically respond with, "You're such a fucking weirdo."
So first of all, I don't think I say that.
Okay, but something along those lines.
Okay, so have you had an experience where the vitamins came out in the incorrect order and something bad happened?
Honestly, and this is going to sound weird, we worked at Geico for 20 years, and I think that there was so much pressure, so many things that could go wrong, so much just time and effort and energy and all that stuff. I think that that's where it started, is looking for something that was going to set the tone for the day, or set the tone for, or give a reason why something happened. I don't know how to explain it. That's just an example. When I say like OCD tendencies, those are the things that go through my head that would never, ever, ever go through someone like your head.
No, never.
I don't know how to explain it, other than I know it started when we worked at Geico, and I don't know why. I mean, it's weird.
I can't think of anything that I do or come across or in contact with that, if it happens a particular way or not, makes me feel like something good or bad is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how to explain it. I think it's far more likely for me to think, okay, today's going to be a good day than, oh shit, it's going to be a bad day. That's rare that happens.
Is it like, do you guide them on how they come out, or is it literally just a crapshoot of, let's see what happens today, and if they all come out in the way that I want them to? Because that seems...
Okay, so I can understand why you'd ask that. Of course, I guide them in the way they come out, because I only want the 4 pills I take in the morning to come out. But what I'm saying is, let's say that you have the pack and there's 2 layers. If you need the white pill and it's on the bottom, you have to kind of, move it out.
Okay.
Whereas if all 4 pills that you want just happen to be on the top and boom, boom, they just all pop out, it's like, okay, this is going to be a good day. I don't know how to explain it, but that's the way my mind works with shit like that. And it's sometimes it is exhausting. It's just like, are you kidding me? But it's just like I'm literally saying to myself, don't make eye contact. First of all, the fucking stone doesn't have eyes, so you can't make eye contact with the stone. But it's like don't even don't look at the stone out of your peripheral, because if you do, you got to reach up there and touch it. And of course, I don't really think if I don't touch it, something bad's going to happen. I don't think that I really think that, but it's kind of like the person when you lock the car, you got to hear it chirp so many times. It's the same, or you got to lock to make sure.
But you do think that, so you really do think that.
I suppose, yeah, in a weird way I do.
And then subconsciously, if something, you could cause something bad to happen, which then in turn solidifies your belief.
Stone.
Right.
Because of that damn
right.
stone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your bias.
Yeah.
That's your bias.
But again, I think more times than not, it's okay. It sets the tone for good stuff than it does bad stuff.
Yeah. You're a very positive person, so I would say that's correct. Well, interesting. So yeah, I definitely, so if you, tomorrow night, well, this is not even going to air tomorrow night, so I don't even know why I'm saying that, but we are going to do a money ball. I'm probably going to do something else. I am going to charge some moon water, and I'm also going to just do a good charging on my crystals, because I feel like, you know what, why not? They need it. Yeah. So I'm excited for tomorrow.
Good. I'm excited for tomorrow.
So anyway, that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today. I just wanted to kind of, let's just
Get back into the
ease
groove.
back into it.
Yeah.
And then I think what we'll start talking about on our next episode, just talk about some of the stuff that we've done. We've done so many things. Like we went on vacation and then,
I got gosh darn cowboy boots. Although I'm going to call them boots because I'm not a cowboy, so I'm going to just call them boots.
However, you're not a cowboy, but you did play one in a video.
You damn right. Trail by Kente.
So, and we'll talk about your Kente line and soon.
My line, yeah.
The Kente perfume line, cologne line. So we'll talk about that coming soon. So anyway, I hope that you guys are excited that we're back, and even if you're not, don't care. We're doing this for us anyway. So,
share so we can get to 10,000.
Yeah, we'll do it as long as it.
Who would have thought we'd have
continues
5,000 downloads?
to be
Do you know what constitutes a download?
No, I don't. But I know, when we first started doing this, we pushed for that 1,000 download mark.
Oh.
You remember?
Yeah. And it took us 6 months.
No, it didn't take
It took us a year almost to get to 5. I don't really remember. I remember pushing for something to begin with.
I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, okay, well, we will talk to you guys soon. Love you.
Deuces.
Bye.